All right, guys, so do you remember when we started talking about what we do when we come across a word that we don't understand what it means? Do you remember talking about some of these strategies? I remember at the very beginning when we first started talking about these strategies, I also started talking to you about how we use strategies to do things that we don't know how to do, right? Remember the sport that we talked about? Who remembers the sport that we talked about? Kickball. That's right, we talked about kickball. Okay, so I want you to remember that when you're doing a skill, you have a whole tool belt of strategies. I'm going to give you one more tool today, all right? This strategy is something that we're going to talk about, but before we do that, I want to think back about some of the other strategies that we've learned so far. So in a minute, when I say go, I'm going to ask you to turn and talk to your partner about your strategy that you have used the most during your independent reading time to figure out what words mean when you're not sure. Okay? Look up here at our visuals to remind yourself of the strategies that we've learned. And when I say go, I want you to talk to your partner about your favorite one that you have used the most in your reading journals. Okay? Go. Back to me in 3, 2, 1, 0. I'm going to have a few people share what I heard them say while I was listening to you talk. Okay? I heard Sandy and Arnav were both agreeing with each other about their favorite strategy, which was pick a substitute. Did anybody else like pick a substitute?
Yeah.
Arnav, will you share with the group what you said about what you do when you pick a substitute?
If you don't understand the word, if you use substitute, you use like a bunch of words and then read them in a sentence. It makes it understand, right?
That's right. You pick a bunch of words, read them in the sentence to see if you can understand it. Sandy, what did you say about choose a substitute?
I said that if you don't understand the word, write what you mean and then read it in a sentence so you can understand.
I love that they both said that you have to read the whole sentence again. When you choose pick a substitute, if you don't read the whole sentence again,
It doesn't make sense.
that's right. You won't know which word works in that sentence. Okay, thank you for sharing. 2 claps on 2. 1, 2. If you chose another strategy for your favorite strategy, would you share it with me, please? Berkeley, what was your favorite strategy? Read around the word. Some of you like that one too. How do we use read around the word, Berkeley? Pick the one that sounds better. Where do you get your clues for what the word means when you're reading around the word? Where do you get your clues from, Berkeley? You get clues from the word. That's right. Can anybody else add on to what Berkeley said? Where else do we get our clues when we read around the word? Gupel, where? Other words around that word. So maybe I read the sentence before and the sentence after, or maybe even a few after, right, to help me get clues. Okay. Thank you for sharing some of your favorite strategies with me. We're going to give Gupel and Berkeley 2 claps. 1, 2. Thank you for sharing. I'm going to teach you a new strategy today. It is called look at the features. Can you make some goggles for me like this? Look at the text features. Okay. Where do we find text features? We've been talking about that as we've been reading some books this week and last week. Where do we find text features? What type of genre do we find text features in? Can you whisper it to me if you know it? What type of genre? What type of books? Oh, I hear it. Say it again. Non-fiction books. We find text features in non-fiction books that are all similar to each other. So I have a book that we've looked at one page from earlier this week when we used our table of contents to look about Amelia Earhart's career in flying. And so I have a few more pages marked for us to look at to see if we can use some text features to help us with new words that we don't know what they mean. All right, so the page that I marked first in my table of contents is called Becoming Famous, and I found Becoming Famous on page 16, and I'm going to read this to you, all right? I'm actually going to wait for just 1 second to make sure that everyone's eyes and ears are on Miss Shannon and their focus is not on anything that they have in their hands. Okay, I'll turn it for you to see in just a second, John, okay? I'm really thankful that Berkeley and Mayank are still sitting elbow to elbow, knee to knee. I can see their couch and their hands are in their lap. Okay. Becoming famous. Amelia Earhart was becoming famous. She was well known because she was a great pilot, but also because she was a woman pilot. Would you shake your head if you do that because we have some scheme on her already? Not many women had careers in the late 1930s, but Amelia did. She told women they could have careers too. Now that word careers is a word that I marked because it's not a word that we use very often, and it may be a word that we don't know the meaning of. Now the cool part about this nonfiction book is that it has lots of text features for us to look at. So I'm going to look at maybe a picture or a caption or some words in bold to help me figure out what career means. So I'm going to show you something. Just a second, Goopel. I'm going to show you this. So if I look at this caption, it says Amelia taught women, college students, about jobs and careers. There's that word again. And then if I look down here, this plane is flying a banner, and it says career. You see that again? A person's life work. Can you say that after me? A person's life work. Now to me that means more than just a job, which in my schema I put career and job kind of together. Did you do that too? Career, a person's life work. I use the text features to help me figure that out, right? Can you turn and talk to your partner when I say go about what you think career means now that we've looked at some of these text features in your own words? Go.
I think career is like a job, something that a person likes to do somewhere. Someone I do work and then he's like one of the biggest
Back to me in 3, 2, 1, 0. Tom, thank you for starting to turn back to me when I started counting. That was really respectful of you. Okay? I'm listening to some friends talk, and what I heard them say, just a second, bye, baby. What I heard them say was a career is like a job, but not exactly like a job. Did you and your partner talk about that? Okay. If this text feature right here tells me that a career is a person's life work, a person's life work, is a career the same exact thing as a job? Benny, what do you think?
No, because I have a career is also playing music because I like to do it. And my mom has told me once that a career doesn't have to only be for adults, but children can also have it. Like I like to play music, so that's my career.
I heard you say that it's something you really like to do. Did you hear him say that? Okay. So So I'm wondering if a career is more than just a job you do to earn money, but I'm wondering if having a career, because it's your life work, has something to do with your passion, what you really care about. Are you noticing that too? I'm thankful for this text feature because it helped me understand that. The next part that I'm going to read is a page called An American Hero. American Hero. Okay? I have a few friends whose hands seem to be clear of objects and eyes on the machine. Amelia got many awards and medals. She spoke to college students about aviation. People everywhere want to be like her. Now, we've got lots of scheme on Amelia Earhart because we read another book about her. But I see the word aviation, and since she's teaching people about it, I'm really curious about what that word actually means. Can anybody make a guess what it's about? What aviation is about? Can you make a guess based on your schema what you think aviation is about? What do you think aviation is about?
It's about
How to fly a plane. I'm going to look at some text features to see if I can be a little bit more clear on what aviation is. Okay? This shows Amelia actually teaching, and it's at Purdue University. I can see that here in this caption. And then in this text feature it says aviation, the world of flying and airplanes. The world of flying and airplanes. The world of flying and airplanes. That doesn't say anything about teaching, does it? Does it say anything about teaching? The world of flying and airplanes. That's what that text feature said. Does it say anything about flying and airplanes? I mean, does it say anything about teaching? No. So I thought in my brain too, Sudarsh, that it might have something to do with teaching them about flying. But I'm noticing here that this text feature is really clear. It just says the world of flying and airplanes. I'm going to go back and read that sentence now that I know what this word means, all right? She spoke to college students about aviation. Oh, I hear someone going, oh. So if I take that definition that I found in the text feature, now listen to it. She spoke to college students about the world of flying and airplanes. Does that make sense? Yeah, these text features are really helpful in helping us understand what words mean. Okay? Really helpful in helping us understand what words mean. Now, how many of you are working on your research project about a person who has made an impact? Would you show me by going like this? Okay. How many of you have already looked in the library for some nonfiction books on your person? Go like this. You have. Wait. Okay. If you haven't, you're going to have the chance to do that today. Now, there are going to be some words in there that if you were doing iPick, you would not understand, right? Words that you don't know their meaning. Do you have strategies to help you figure out those words now?
Yes.
Okay. Show me on your hands, how many strategies do you have now to help you?
5.
Oh my goodness, 5. I'm thinking that your tool belt is getting pretty full, don't you? Pretty full. Okay, so when you're looking at your books today, I want you to remember to help us understand what words mean, where should we look? At the text features. Okay. All right, it's time for us to go to Ms. Schlegel's space to continue working on our research projects. All right, so what I need you to do is you're going to put your book box away. You can get your snack if you want to. Get anything that you have for your research projects, including nonfiction books if you have them with you. And we're going to walk over to Ms. Schlegel's space. Go.